Hey everybody, welcome to Round the Twist, episode 365. It's our 10th anniversary. Oh God, I've been doing this for 10 years. It is August 11th, I think. Yes, 2019, which marks 10 years. We're probably past the 10-year mark because I think it was like August 7th or something that I recorded the first show. Raise your mugs. It's been 10 years. Oh my gosh. 10 years since the first Sock Summit. I had just gotten back from that. That's where I had decided to start recording because at the time, video casting wasn't a thing. It was all audio podcasts. I think there was like one other video podcast out at the time. I can't even remember what it was. It was part of a yarn shop though, and they did more like very professional tutorials, but mine was kind of the first that did this, what we're doing, which is essentially blogging, only in video format, I guess. So yay, 10 years. I don't have cake, but that's okay. Let's dive right in. What I have on my needles has been a few weeks. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. I have not been as consistent as I was those first years where I was recording every week. You know, life, little thing called life. Things have changed a little bit in 10 years. Lots changed. Got married, had kids, moved again, dogs. It's life. Yeah. So let's jump right in. What's on my needles? Hang on, more coffee. It's caramel banana this week. And San Marco should really be giving me kickbacks for all the promotion I've done over the years. I mean, come on, cut a girl a break, even like a 10% off once in a while. Come on. I live off that stuff. That is my fuel. So first thing I have on my needles is something new. This is the Russian Rainbow Sockhead hat, original. And you'll see why I say original name. It's like all my creativity is gone right now, like in terms of coming up with fun names. So this is the Sockhead Slouch Hat by Kelly McClure. It's a free pattern over on Ravelry. And the yarn is from Fireweed Dye Works, which is AlaskanNancy.etsy.com. She's out of Anchorage, Alaska, hence the name. And this is her Russian Rainbow colorway. You guys, I have been wanting this colorway for years, and it always seems to get sniped out from under me. And I happened to catch, she had, I think, 4 skeins left in her shop the other day, and I got one for me, which is still upstairs. And then our sitter was like, oh my gosh, that's gorgeous. Can you knit me a hat or something? I'll pay you for the yarn. And I was like, yeah, sure. You've been watching my kids for like a year. Sure, I'll knit you a hat. So I went online and there were still 2 skeins left. So I sniped another one. So this is her self-striping sock yarn in the colorway Russian Rainbow. And it's the, Fireweed Dye Works self-striping sock yarn. It's an 80/20 superwash merino and nylon blend. I did show notes this week, guys. I haven't done show notes since like March. So I'm knitting this up on a US 2.5, which is a 3.0 millimeter needle, which I've knit none of my sockhead hats on the same size needle. I did one on a 4, I think another one on a 3.5, and now I'm doing one on what the pattern actually calls for, a 2.5, 3 millimeter. So this is so much rainbow gorgeousness. I love this. It's made me so happy. I just started knitting this less than a week ago. Oh, poo. This is the part I didn't write down, was when I started. Going over to my Ravelry page, guys. So I started this August 5th, 6 days ago. I'm through the 4 inches of ribbing, all the way through. I am through 4 inches of the body of the hat. I think I have to go, I don't know. I have to go to 7 or 9 inches. I've just been zooming around and around in circles, and this is the only thing I've been working on. The only thing. That's it, just this, and love it. Love it so much because it makes me happy, but there's also the whole thing of I don't want to stop knitting it because you want to see what color's coming next. And that's okay. It is riding around because Happy Yarn needs to have a happy bag. So it's riding around in my Stitch by Jessalou little cupcake box bag, the small one. And those have lived with me for years as I've been doing the podcast as well. So yay. That's everything I have on my needles right now. One thing. I'm being monogamous. There we go. I can talk too. So I have actually 2 FOs of the week, because you'll notice I'm only working on something you guys hadn't seen before. So I finished first the Dark Side socks. So these are my 72 stitch top down with a Crystal Afterthought, true Afterthought heel. I actually cut the tubes open to get the heel in. That's the Crystal Afterthought heel, which I learned, I believe, in a class at the second Sock Summit. It's part of a free pattern that's over on Knitty. If you search on Ravelry for Crystal Afterthought heel, Crystal, I believe it's there. Free pattern, so I like it. If you have a deeper instep and you find that just whacking a toe on isn't deep enough and that it's stretching across the top of your foot, and that it's too tight, try the Crystal Afterthought heel, because it just adds just that little bit of depth, and that's all that I need. So these are wonderful. More rainbows. I seem to have lots of rainbows with stuff today. There's my little Afterthought heels that look kind of wonky because they never look right on sock blockers, right? Afterthought heels never look good on sock blockers, but there we go. Down to the little toes. They didn't quite match, even though, I don't know, my gauge was off somehow. So this is out of Must Stash Yarns in her Perfect Sock, self-striping, and these were OCD, which, it's right up here in the corner. 2 perfectly matched half skeins twisted together. So that means you don't have to yank out a bunch of yarn to get to the right point in the striping sequence to start your second sock. And I thought I had it perfect. They look perfect. They match the whole way down until toe. And one toe has a little bit gray and the other one ended with black. I don't know what I did. Don't care. They're going to be in shoes anyway. It's fine. But those are for me. Did those up on a US 1, a 2.25 millimeter needle, and I started them May 18th, finished them July 27th. These took me way longer than they really should have for being straight stockinette knitted socks from the top down. They really should have just zoomed off the needles, and I don't know why they didn't, but they didn't. But they're done. Yay! Another pair of socks for me. Second FO of the week. I'm wearing it. It's my worsted boxy, it's labeled as boxy if you go over to my Ravelry project page, but it is the worsted boxy by Joji Locatelli out of Cask, and I don't have a label to show you because this yarn is umpteen years old, way pre-podcast. It was deep stash. I bought this yarn shortly after I had started knitting, maybe 6 months after I started knitting, so I was 20 years old. That tells you how old it is. I'm going to tell you how old I am. I'm 38, so it's 18-year-old yarn that had been living in my stash that long. It had been this god-awful yellowy beige color that I think the only reason I picked it was because I wanted to do a fisherman's Irish cabled sweater, and I started, which was way over my skill set at the time that I started it, and it was so intricate, and I was trying to do something I could probably do now, like piece together the cables from one pattern, because of course the sweater I wanted wasn't written out in the book that I had gotten. So my mom had given me an old pattern of hers that matched the stitch count that we needed, and I was just transposing the cables onto that other sweater. Way over my head. It had a tubular cast on that scared the ever-living bejeebers out of me. And I got the whole back done, ready to shape the armholes, and then it just lived in a bag. And finally I went, I'm never going to finish this. I'm not. So I ripped it all out and had a friend, Sandy, Sandy, back in Omaha. She used to dye yarn. Don't ask me what her dyer name was because she doesn't do it anymore. She overdyed this yarn for me in this gorgeous teal. I'm going to stand up, this teal blue green. This thing is a tent, but I love it muchly. You can see. I did the size medium, I believe. It's when you get it in the it's the second set of numbers in the parentheses. I think that's a medium because extra small, small, medium. 68-inch circumference, so it is huge, but I love it. I did make it longer so that it comes down and covers my tush. I'm not a fan of the cropped look, so I'll be able to wear this with leggings around the house, and I love it, love it, love it muchly. Yay. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Yarn down. Okay, got it. So, like I said, it's Cascade Yarns Alpaca Lana de Oro, which is a 50-50 merino and alpaca blend. So this is going to be really warm. Although the way that it's blocked and the gauge that I did it at does lend it to be a very open and airy knit. And there's, because of the alpaca, it also has lovely drape. It's so gorgeous. Knitted on a US 9 5.5 millimeter needle, and then like the neckline and I think the ribbing around the little ridiculous 6-inch sleeves that I love. It's like, oh no, I have to do the sleeves, and then they went whoosh and they were done in an evening. It was great. Those are knit, the ribbing is knit on a 7, US 7, which is a 4.5 millimeter needle. And I started this May 26th of this year, finished it August 2nd. It's actually, I just yesterday washed and blocked it, and it's still just that much damp, so it feels a little clammy on me right now, so I might actually take it off so I can, yeah, let's take it off because it's a little chilly. It's a little chilly down in the basement with a wet sweater, damp sweater on me. Damp, moist. Which one's worse to say? Moist. Everyone hates that word. All right, so that is done. It is a blanket of a sweater, and it's going to be wonderful this winter. Oh, and then my jeans are wet too. Ugh, yuck. So, yay, 2 finished objects. One of them a ginormous sweater. I'm waiting until that is fully dry so I can weigh it to see exactly how many meters I used for Stash Dash, which Stash Dash, the Knit Girls. It started like May 24th. It ends August 24th. We've got just shy of 2 weeks left before that is over. I'm gonna rejigger here, sorry. And yeah, I've completed a sweater and a pair of socks. I'm gonna be knocking out a hat here. And let's move on to various and sundry so you know what's coming up next. First thing that I need to get my butt in gear on is, sorry, more coffee. Always more coffee. The Joker and the Thief Shawl by Melanie Berg. I'm doing this for my friend Sarah for Christmas. And I got this. This was the only thing that I purchased at Estes Park this year. I can never walk past the Fiber Optic booth without buying something. So Fiber Optic Yarns. Kimber does an amazing job dyeing gradients. Oh, there we go. That's a good angle. So this is the Renaissance colorway. It is 6 skeins. It is her 6-pack cashmere yarn. Cashmere with a K. But it is 80% superwash merino, 10% cashmere, 10% nylon. So 8 ounces. And then for the contrast color, I got more of the cashmere yarn, but a skein of it. And this is their sterling, which is like this pale gray that's gonna contrast beautifully with the deep, rich jewel tones that's in this Renaissance. So that's gonna be up next. I need to work on socks for pretty much everyone. I mean, I need more socks because I've got some pairs that are, if they haven't dyed already, they're close to dying. And I mean, they're 10, 12 years old. So honestly, they're allowed to. Hubby needs another pair of socks because our anniversary is coming up. He's playing video games over there. You can't see him, but he's over there. Trust me. If you hear any weird noise, that's from his video game. It's okay. And then maybe another sweater for me. I'm not sure what it's going to be or what I'm going to do it out of, but I've got like 8 or 9 sweaters worth of yarn sitting back in there, in that room. I also need to, I have 3 lengths of fabric to make into scrub tops that I need to do, but one of them's a holiday one, so I like winter holiday one. It's blue, various shades of blue snowflakes with glitter. I've showed it to you guys. That one can wait. But I can do my Galaxy one that has glitter as well. Why did I buy glittery fabric? I hate glittered fabric because it sheds glitter on me. But and one that has a navy blue background with rainbows and unicorns. That I did because I knew it would make Tara happy. No glitter on that one though. So I think, and then I need to get spinning on the rest of that. It wasn't Green Mountain Spinnery, it is Greenwood Dye Works. I need to finish spinning that on my bee. I need to get spinning on my Lendrum that's back over there, hiding in a corner. I need to dust that off and get spinning on that because I have those 2 fleeces that I just got back from Willow Creek Woolen Mill. Yeah, there's a lot coming up. I just need to find the time to do it. More hours in the day. If anyone wants to send me a 10th anniversary gift, I will take more hours in my day that are free for me to do crafty stuff, because that always seems to be the thing that gets pushed to the wayside, but that's okay. The twins are starting kindergarten. How is that possible? Because we just had them. They'll be starting kindergarten in the next week. And yeah, it's been a crazy and wild ride. I couldn't have done this for as long as I have without all of you. So you guys, thank you. Thank you for letting me into your homes and yeah, letting me open up to you guys. So thanks. I don't know what else to say before I like tear up and get all weepy, so let's not do that. So here's to 10 years, and we'll see how many more. You guys have a great week. I'll see you again soon, and happy knitting.